Give it up one more time for our youth. Ifitayo, They could have been literally anywhere, but the youth are our future, and we appreciate them. Um, Assembly member, can I get some help? Thank you. We're gonna put the podium back, please. Thank you. Right here. At this time, I'm going to introduce District Leader Sarana Purcell, who is going to take us into what we all been waiting for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. Welcome to the 43rd Assembly District. You guys are coming from all over, but I want to make sure I give you a proper welcome. So can my members from Flatbush and Prospect Lefferts Gardens make some noise? Yes, yes. Crown Heights and Crown Heights North, let them hear you. East Flatbush and Wingate, where you at? So we're showing you Brooklyn love. Tonight is a celebration. You've been to many events, but it's nothing like a Brian Cunningham event. And I know this because I have the pleasure of knowing Brian for over 15 years. We started out together, parallel careers. And when we started this chapter, not journey, but chapter, just last year, January, I knew that he was the right man for this job. I knew that he was dedicated, but most importantly to me, I knew that he was rooted in community. And Brian is someone that will call you in the morning, in the evening, and he keeps in touch with his constituents. Who received a call for Brian? Let me see that. Yes. And that's what we could ask for when we send people to represent us in seats of power. Brian is someone who is caring, loyal, and dedicated to his district, but the borough and the state. And I have the pleasure of introducing our current Lieutenant Governor, who also is a man who's caring, dedicated, committed to the well-being of this state. So I want to make sure that we give him a proper welcome, right, to the 43rd, to Brooklyn, to New York City. He is the first member of color, right, to become a congressional member upstate New York in the 19th Congressional District. So yes, here for him, that is accomplishment in itself. One more time, in this day and age, first member of color in upstate New York, 2019, could you believe that? And now we have the pleasure of having him serving us as Lieutenant Governor. So I want to make sure that we give him a big round of applause. And he knows the applause because he used to be a hip hop artist. I know that. We know that. And he may grace us with some lyrics tonight. But yes, give a big 40. No, too much, no pressure. No pressure. So let's give a big rousing applause for our Lieutenant Governor, Antonio Delgado.
Where Brooklyn at? 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 Oh my. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. It's a lot to take in, brother. Let me start. I'm still buzzing off of Brooklyn United. And then to have Ifa Teo come through, I like the bookends. I like the bookends. Very powerful message there. I got a couple of boys, and my sister, Congresswoman Yvette Clarke, talked about coming a long way. I'm up in Dutchess County. It's about 2.5 hours north for those who don't know. But I'm good. I'm glad to be here. And but I'm thinking about my boys, 9-year-old twins, Maxwell and Coltrane. And yeah, for the jazz lovers and R&B. Okay, Urban Hang Suite. Um, seeing those little brothers up here, focused, dedicated. I was looking, they were looking right at me. I see you. They said, yeah, I see you. The level of confidence that takes. So it just was moving to be a part of that and to see that so close, and then to bookend it with Ifa Teo and the power that brought to the table. Just an extraordinary experience. And I just want to say, first and foremost, thank you, brother, for the invitation to do the honors of swearing you in your first full term. We've had the majority leader, Chuck Schumer. Obviously, we had the speaker, Carl Hasty. Here, I think I just saw brother Jumaane Williams walk in, New York City public advocate. Brother, man, good to see you. Of course, my sister, Congresswoman Yvette Clarke. To all of the state senators and assembly members, the clergy, the faith leaders, the advocates. It is really amazing to be in your company. It really is. Now, a lot of folks who've come up here, and I'm not going to be long because I know y'all been here a while. But I do want to say this. A lot of the folks who've come up here have said they've known Brian for a while, for a long time. They go back. I'm not going to sit up here and act like we have that kind of history, because we don't. We don't go back years and years and years. But there's something about him. Within the first moment I was able to interact with him, I've only been at LG for about a year now. So not even a year. But there's certain people that you come across in this space that when you know them, you know their spirit, and the spirit just sort of meets you before you meet them. The spirit meets you. And when I met this brother, I just immediately felt his spirit. I felt his love. I felt his pride. I felt his principles. I immediately recognized he's a man of peace, a man of love, a man of unity, a man of the people. It's a chemistry. It's something you just know when you know. And so when you asked me to do this, it meant a lot to me personally, because even though I don't know you, I know you. I know you. And I know, based on everything I've experienced in this room tonight, that everything I felt upon first interaction was true. Was true. Now, I'm just going to say this, and Stephanie, thank you for being who you are, and Mama Cunningham, thank you. The love and support you put in him, you can feel it. And this room can feel it. And it's powerful. And that means something in today's world. It means something in every world. It's a timeless aspect. But in today's times, we need people who carry that in them. We need people who know how to fight for people who care, who have compassion, who are empathetic. People who know how to unify and elevate. Everything about tonight was about elevation, was about growth, was about shining a light on our truth and our power. That's strong. When the brother stepping in, strong. I just hope, and I know you all do, we embrace this and we hold it and we bottle it up and we lift it up. You know, I mentioned, I think it was Congressman Clarke talked about, you know, not just showing up now, but being there. You know, constantly being there, being present, being accounted for. So I just want to say thank you. When we leave this place and we go our separate ways and go into our homes and our communities, I really hope that we take a moment to understand the power of what's happening tonight. Don't let, you know, politics get superficial. Don't let it get surface level. Make it matter. Make it count. What we make of it is what it actually is. What we put into it is the kind of power it can possess. And Brian is an example of that. He's a personification of that. It's a reflection of all that power that you carry. So continue to be about that power, not just when it comes to voting and supporting brothers like him, but in terms of your daily life and how you engage with each other and engage with our young people. There's a lot of power in this, and we need that right now. We need it to hold ourselves accountable. So thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be with you this evening. I'm done. Okay, I've said what I've had to say. I had some remarks here. I literally had some words on the paper, but then I realized I just got to speak from the heart. So now I'm going to get the honor, the true honor of being able to swear in Brian. If you could step forward, and Stephanie, along with I think Mama Cunningham, you coming up here too? Is that the plan? I understand we have a Bible. Do we have two mics or is it one mic? Or?
Keisha Joe, you coming as well?
I'm good. Got your left hand on the Bible, right hand up. We good?
Good.
Are we ready? Are you ready?
I hope so.
Repeat after me. I, Brian Cunningham, do solemnly swear
I, Brian Cunningham, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and will faithfully discharge
the
duties of the office of member of the Assembly of the State of New York to the best of my ability. So help me God.
So help me God.
All right.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Do your thing. Together.
This is Black Hoodie Rap. There's no fear in my eyes, what they looking at. Better look on map. Besides, me not like the eye fight. Me not think such a thing is worth a man's life. But if a man tests my style, I promise you won't like my reply. Boom, bye like bonjour, I'm crucial. I'm a Brooklyn boy, I may take some getting used to. Chain snatching, ain't habit, gotta get it. Same from Brownsville to Brain British. Fatherless child, mama put double shift, so the number runners was the only one to hang with him. Before you know it, I'm in the game, bang fit him. Fit no orangutans, pity old kid apps like oranges is, I'm dangerous. Hey, tell me what the name of this. Okay, L-Y-N, Cunningham. Cunningham, Cunningham. I father, I Brooklyn Dodger them. I jack, I rob, I sin. Oh man, I'm Jackie Robinson. Except when I run base, I dodge the pen. Lucky me, luckily they didn't get me. Now when I bring the nets, I'm the Black Branch Ricky. To Brooklyn corners, burning branches of spread love, Biggie, Brooklyn, hippie, I pity the fool with jewels like Mr. T, with no history in my railroad. They borrow with no intentions of returning tomorrow. The sun don't come up with many, like Annie, half orphan. Mama never had an abortion, Papa sorta did. Still I managed to live.
Hello. Hey everyone, thank you all for your patience. If y'all can take a seat. Yep. We have a couple more things to run through. Thank you all so much for your patience. We have to allow the assembly members some time to speak. But before that, we have a couple more people who would like to speak. If y'all could please give a huge round of applause for our New York Public Advocate, Jumaane Williams.
Thank you. Peace and blessing. Love and light, everybody. How you doing? Where my Brooklyn at song? I ain't getting no. I'm honored to be here with our Congress members, our state electeds, our city electeds, and of course, our assembly member. I know y'all have heard a lot of speeches, so I'm gonna be really brief. But, you know, as what the Lieutenant Governor was saying, I think what he was trying to imply is Brian Cunningham belongs in this seat. He's been doing work on the ground for a very, very long time. And when there are people who are ascending to these kind of seats, I always think it's best when it's people who have been doing the work for the people before they're running for office. And that's what Brian Cunningham represents. So I know that District 43 is in really good hands. We are at a time in our state where we need people who are going to try to create a state that has never existed, a state that is equitable, a state that provides housing, a state that provides mental health, things that we had done before the pandemic, we would not have been hit so hard. So we have to have people who are going to go in there and say, no, we don't want to just tinker with the system. We need an entirely new system. And I think Brian is that kind of person. We were running at the same time, and you know, there's politics involved, but we still found a way to make sure we helped each other where we could. And that means a lot in this space. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it really does mean a lot. And I'll leave it with this. How many people helped Brian in some way or the other? Raise some money, who voted for him? Yeah. It's not over. You can't walk away from him. We voted for Obama and then we walked away. So when we elect these people, we got to stay behind them and we got to help them so they can have the courage to do what they need in Albany. Y'all still with me? I don't want to lose anybody. So when he goes to do something, he has to say, I can do this because the people who help me are still behind me and are pushing me. So y'all still have to help him do the job that needs to be done. Yes? Don't get mad when something's not going right if you're still not there. We did the first part. We still got to continue, right? Y'all still with me? Congratulations to our newest assembly member, amazing wife, mom, everybody who helped them. Peace and blessing, love and light to you all. Thank you so much. Where's my Brooklyn song, man? Brooklyn, Brooklyn. Can I beatbox? All right, freeze.
Hello again. I want to welcome next to the stage Athena Zenobia McAfee, District 43's 6-year-old community activist, commonly known through her mother's ownership of the Awesome Stores. By day, she spends her time at PS 316, Elijah Stroud School. And by night, you might see her at a political rally with her dad, hanging out at Awesome, or potentially playing on the playground, as she should be. But today, she's going to read a poem by one of her favorites, and mine too, Shel Silverstein. So let's give a warm welcome to Athena. Take a deep breath. Deep breath. You got it.
Good job. Doing great.
This poem is called No Difference. Small as a peanut, big as a giant, we're all the same size when we turn off the light. Rich as a sultan, poor as a mite, we're all worth the same when we turn off the light. Red, black, or orange, yellow, or white, we all look the same when we turn off the light. So maybe the way to make everything right is for God to just reach down and turn off the light.
Athena is a true activist. Thank you, Athena. So we are at the tail end of our program. So we're asking everybody for just 10 more minutes of your time, promise. Then you could grab something to eat, take a picture with the member, and leave. But at this time, I am going to call up the assembly member's rib, his brain, his left hand, the person who bosses him around, the person who he tells me to call to make sure something could go on his calendar, and the person that he makes sure he takes care of at the end of every week. So at this time, I would like to welcome Stephanie A. Johnson Cunningham. And she's fierce, y'all. She's bad.
Wow. I'm honestly proud beyond words of you, Brian, and this achievement. So many of you have been on this incredible, difficult journey with us. And I'm so grateful for all of your love and support. So many familiar faces out in the audience, and that means so much to me and so much to Brian. I first want to thank Stephanie Wilkfort, the executive director of the Brooklyn Children's Museum. Stephanie is someone that I admire deeply, that I get to watch pave, do such amazing things with this institution. Stephanie usually has her hair in a ponytail and sneakers on, just grinding. And I'm so grateful that I get the opportunity to watch you. And I also want to thank you for also allowing me the opportunity to call upon you whenever I'm in need as a young museum professional, as a baby executive. So thank you so much. And to all of you who continue to shine a light on Brian, thank you so much for your calls and for your prayers. Without you all, this day would not have been possible. So I'm especially grateful for that. A lot of people came up here and talked a lot about Brian's career and his credentials. I have the opportunity of knowing Brian for a very long time. The first time we met was in Sunday school, and he had on the old man suit from then, and always was interested in serving. Brian was an usher at church. He was on the kids choir. He was in the sound room. Anything that he could do to serve was his love and dream from a very early age. I didn't realize Brian and I were only a year apart until we got to junior high school, because he always had this like big man personality. Exactly. To match the old man suit, exactly. And even in junior high school, he was the school president. So Brian was always very much interested in leadership, in supporting people, and also having the opportunity to do so much for people. And so Brian, even as we go through our own struggles personally, you continue to persevere. And it's something that I admire about you deeply. We have had some huge setbacks in so many different ways, and we have also achieved and risen beyond our shortcomings ourselves. I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's not easy. It's not easy being the spouse of an elected official. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And so I'm not happy that he's away from me every week in Albany, but it's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice that we decided to make together. And I'm so happy to see all of the achievements that you've made already in your short time. You're crazy, okay? He loves this so much. And he loves this work so much. His colleagues joke that, one day I'll run. Never. Mark my words, never. But I just want to thank his colleagues for taking him under your wing, especially Councilmember Joseph, Assembly Member Eddie Gibbs, Assembly Member DeSantos, so many of you who've really kind of taken Brian under your wings and kind of showing him the ropes. So I'm so grateful for that. And so I just want to ask you all to just continue to pray for us, continue to keep us in mind, continue to call, continue to check in. We'll need it now more than ever. So Brian, congratulations. I'm always going to be here. I am, Brian in our household is the head chef. And as the sous chef, I'm gonna have to step up now that he's not home as much. But I am incredibly proud of you, and I will continue to be there. And we're gonna just, keep grinding. And I also want to thank Brian's mom, my amazing mother-in-law. I often call them twins because they're literally the same people. Everything that Brian is because of you, and I want to thank you for that as well. And with that, I want to welcome the newly pinned Assembly Member Brian Cunningham.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Is this one working? This one's working? You can hear me? Wow, 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 wow. This inauguration is definitely bigger than Trump's, I'll tell you that much. Thank you so much. Eddie, I gotta bring you everywhere on the road with me. Stephanie, I know how much you've sacrificed over the last 17 years in my crazy pursuit of this community service work on this level. But in case you don't hear it enough, I'm really grateful. I know how tough it is when I'm leaving on Sunday night to head up, but you are definitely the rock of my life and the person who pushes me to be the best version of myself. And I am so incredibly grateful for you. Drive me a little crazy, but she is the head cleaner in the house because my socks be everywhere. I don't have it all together. To our incredible Lieutenant Governor, the Honorable Antonio Delgado, who promised to make Brooklyn his second home. Thank you for administering my oath of office, for your genuine friendship. I remember the first time I saw you speak was at a church on Linden and Schenectady, and you talked about love. I remember your first campaign video when you're in that scene in your home sharing with folks, and your energy, like you said, just comes across as a genuine brother who we love dearly and appreciate. But more importantly, thank you for the gift of Lacey, your wife. Your wife always gives Stephanie and I good counsel. In fact, the scheduling meetings is because of Lacey, your wife, making those recommendations that we do this together and helping us go through so much of this journey as a family together. So I appreciate you and your wife. Please give Lacey my regards. Look forward to the incredible work we're going to do together in this budget and in this legislative session. To our great majority leader, Chuck Schumer, who's not here. It was early in my life that I got a chance to work with Chuck Schumer up close, being a staffer, and watching him work. And Chuck is a machine. I don't know how he does so many graduations and inaugurations, but Chuck's leadership in Washington is needed more now than ever before, as we all know. And I'm grateful to Chuck for giving me that opportunity. To the greatest legislative body in the world, the New York State Assembly, my colleagues, led by the great and phenomenal Speaker Carl Hastie, and our wonderful Majority Leader Crystal Peoples-Stokes, I am looking forward to our early morning hearings, our late task force meetings, and those really, really late nights in Albany working for the people of New York. I am grateful for each of you for your support and love. Councilmember Rita Joseph, my partner in crime. Last year, this time, I remember us talking on the phone, strategizing about this run and not feeling all in. And you're consistent pushing me to do this and reminding me of the greater purpose. Thank you so much for your dedication to this neighborhood and for being a genuine partner in the city. But most importantly, and not most importantly, but also most importantly, the people of the 43rd Assembly District for giving me the opportunity to be your voice in Albany. Today, I stand here humbled by the task before me, grateful for the trust you bestowed in me, and mindful of the sacrifices born of our ancestors to make this moment a reality. I want to thank my predecessors, Diana, Kareem, and Clarence, for their service to this community. Leadership doesn't start when you get here. It started before you, and they did a tremendous amount of work to make sure this community is where it is. As well as their generosity and counsel they provided during this transition period. Last week, me and my colleagues in Albany took our oath of office, the formal oath. And that oath was to a constitution. But the oath today was to a community, to this community, the people who sent me to Albany. 9 months ago, Flatbush, Crown Heights, and Prosper Lefferts Gardens sent me to deliver for them. And in that short period of time, deliver we have. We've authorized and passed 4 pieces of legislation, including my favorite bill, the Urban Heat Island Bill, which serves to address environmental racism. And this is just the beginning. We're looking forward to many more bills that are going to deliver for the people of New York. We've also delivered more than $500,000 to local nonprofits in this community who serve thousands of residents, some of whose checks are over there. Please cash them tonight because the money will dry up soon. We provided $1.5 million in capital projects, including to the Brooklyn Children's Museum, the nation's first museum. We've hosted over 40 community events and served over 5,000 constituent calls with a close rate of 90%. To the 10% that's here, we will get back to you next week. When you elected me, you entrusted me to put together a staff, and I want to thank each of them for their commitment to our community and their professionalism. Led by my phenomenal chief of staff, who was crazy enough to plan an inauguration on her birthday, Debbie Lewis. Debbie is an engine, and her and Stephanie and Liberty bossed me around quite a bit. To my director of special projects, Naomi, who puts together all our events, curates our social media, and also leads all of our task force. So if you're not in the task force, please join one. Thank you, Naomi. Director of Constituent Services, Raul. Everybody knows Raul. Our policy analyst, Emma, who's not here tonight, just had surgery, sending her good wishes and vibes. Our executive assistant, Arlandi, and our news member of the team, community liaison, Kayla, who's hitting the ground running really quickly. I would be remiss if I didn't thank a few people who made this day possible. Those cold January nights, those door knocks in February, and to get out the vote in March. Martha Aon, who's been with me since 2017. Paul Henderson, who I think is somewhere hiding in the back as usual, who kept the engine going. Avi, who's not here. Sabrina, who I see somewhere. Sabrina, where is she? She was here. And also Emma, who's been on the team since the campaign. Mom, thanks for your courage. Thanks for your prayers. Thank you for being my travel buddy. People don't know this, but every time I get on a plane, take a drive, whether early in the morning or late at night, my mother starts each car ride with a prayer. She stays on the phone with me till I reach my destination safely and worries when I don't call her in case she fell asleep on the phone. She's also my press secretary, who regularly watches news and scares me half to death, providing me with news updates both locally and nationally. Mom, thank you so much. To my phenomenal mother-in-law, or as I like to call her, mother-in-love, thank you for always taking my side, telling Stephanie I'm always right, and passing down some incredible genes. In all seriousness, thank you for always reminding me the importance of being a truth teller. One thing about my mother-in-law, she's gonna tell you the truth, and also a truth seeker. To my sister, thank you for being the standard of excellence in our family. My mother got here with less than $60 in her pocket, and my sister is the first in our family to graduate from college. My sister is an educator. She's a mother, but I believe I was her first child. Those nights Mom had to work late, you made sure I was taken care of. I'll never forget you, and I love you dearly. Thank you, Jovan, for being a wonderful spouse to my sister. Remember when you guys got engaged? I won't tell the story here, but I was using the bathroom, my sister busted in on me, so we'll just leave it right there. While my heart is full of gratitude and we've been able to hit the ground running in Albany, there's so much that is left to be done, like raising the minimum wage to meet inflation. Our governor talked about it. Making an omelet shouldn't cost an arm and a leg, and for many New Yorkers it is. Inflation is also impacting our ability to support small businesses and to remain in the communities we love, which is why we need to build truly affordable housing that reflects community median incomes and not the AMIs that currently exist. We have to allow families and seniors the ability to raise their children and age gracefully in place. There's a growing recognition, and we as lawmakers in Albany understand that addressing the mental health needs of individuals on our streets and within our criminal justice system can help reduce recidivism and improve public safety. But we have to do that with compassion and with thoughtfulness. I am committed to working with this governor to think of a comprehensive plan on how to spend $1 billion on mental health services, because mental health is healthcare. But we can't ignore the first urgency of the moment to address chronic health issues that existed in our community prior to the global pandemic: hypertension, diabetes, asthma, and a maternal health crisis that largely impacts Black and brown women. These are issues we must tackle in this legislative session. I believe as New Yorkers, we're entitled to choice, to be in control of our own destiny. What else is more New York and American than that? The right to make decisions in matters of life and education, enterprise and faith. The state legislature has codified a woman's right to choose, but that right to choose also means the safety to raise their kids knowing they won't be killed by stray bullets. That right to choose includes making sure they can educate their kids where they want to educate their kids, and that right to choose makes sure that our kids can grow up safely and have programs in our community that invest in them. Today, we stand in this museum that's dedicated to education of our children, helping to foster their growth and development. It's a reminder that our legislative victories today are a bridge into the future. We stand here today, but we legislate for those who will stand here in 40 years and 400 years. Every day when I walk into the state capitol and hear Eddie Gibbs say, "Bistro," I'm mindful of the distinct pleasure to represent such a beautiful mosaic, as David Dinkins once said. A community where you can get jerk chicken and oxtail right next to Chalent within a minute. These are special neighborhoods that brought us many firsts. The first Black woman in Congress, Shirley Chisholm. A community that has the only Black woman in Congress, the New York delegation, Yvette Clarke. A community that has sent our new minority leader and leader of the Democrats, Hakeem Jeffries, right here from Crown Heights. Brooklyn is home to our public advocate, our mayor, our comptroller. Let me stop before the other boroughs get in trouble. New York is the place to be. Sorry, Eddie. I hope to continue this legacy in Albany as I represent you. I want to give particular thanks to our district leaders, both past and present, Edu Hermelin, Sarana, thank you for all your hard work, and Akel Williams. Seat number 10 in the New York State Assembly belongs to you, the people who sent me there. And I will continue to work with you to address our common purpose, confront our common issues, and work with passion and dedication every single day. Big shout outs to the Brooklyn Democratic Party for helping me in this journey. Thank you, and God bless the 43rd Assembly District. And speaking of money, we have a few groups that came to collect. Marva Brown, are you here? Marva Brown, can you come on down? This check for $125,000 is for Broward Park in North Crown Heights. Who else we got? Elena? Parkside Plaza in the house? Parkside Plaza, 125. Brooklyn Children's Museum, $250,000. Crown Heights Youth Collective, $25,000. And that's it for the night. Cash these very quickly.
Okay, everyone. Is the mic on? Oh. Hi, everyone. We have one more thing. I am Orlandi. I'm the executive assistant at the office. We want to thank you for coming. And so today is our Deputy Chief of Staff birthday, Debbie Esther Lewis. She is our... So now I would like to invite all the staff to come up so we can wish Debbie a happy birthday. And then I would like to also welcome her family. Come up. Farrah Lewis, our city council member, coming right up. There she is. All of her family, please come up. Claudie. Okay, I'm putting you on the spot. Yes. So we're gonna go ahead and sing happy birthday to Debbie.
Yes.
Oh, actually, this is for you. Thank you.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to
Happy birthday to you.
Give it up for my chief of staff. Give it up for Debbie, y'all. Clap, clap, clap. Thank you.
Where the breeze? Where the breeze?
Thank you, guys. And that's it, y'all. We got some pictures to take and we out of here. Thank you guys so much for your time. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you all. Oh, happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.